Buenas tardes, amigos. Bienvenidos a Cafecito con Masha. Espero que todos estén muy bien. Muy emocionada nuevamente porque seguimos con este contenido olímpico y bueno, por ahí ya vieron un pequeño spoiler de a quién tendremos el día de hoy. Pues muy contenta. Obviamente quiero recordarles a todos que por favor se suscriban a este canal, síganme en mis redes sociales para que vean todo el contenido que estoy subiendo ahora con los Juegos Olímpicos. También quiero invitarlos a que adquieran su membresía olímpica. A partir del 14 de febrero, o sea, ya mañana, estaré teniendo contenido exclusivo para miembros, así que vayan abajo, al lado del botón de suscripción, en donde podrán encontrar su membresía Beijing para que puedan tener acceso a algunas entrevistas exclusivas y algunos videos que estaré subiendo esta semana también. Y bueno, también recordarles que toda la semana estaré todavía narrando en Claro Sports para que nos acompañen. Hello everyone, welcome to Cafecito con Masha. I'm very excited because we have an incredible interview today. I was hoping for this moment for a long time, so today is going to be amazing, and it's the perfect scenario to be talking about ice dance and the perfect person to guide us through this thing before the final. So guys, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel, to follow me on my social media, and also remind you that starting tomorrow I will have some content that will be for members only. So go below, beside the subscription button, you will find the join button. Get your membership today so you can watch all this exclusive content. So I want to introduce an amazing figure skater, of course, a two-time Olympian, world medalist, amazing skater in general that we miss very much in competitions. I want to introduce to you Kaitlyn Weaver. Hello, Kaitlyn. How are you? Welcome.
Hola a todos.
Oh my God,
Thank
nice
you so much for
Spanish.
having me.
I'm so excited. Like we were talking today with the Olympics, everything has been pretty crazy right now. But before going there, I want to talk a little bit about your trajectory. Of course, we have some obligated questions, and I would love to know how you started figure skating.
Wow. Gosh, it was so long ago. I have to really think. I grew up in Houston, Texas, and skating was something that ran in the family. My family loved to watch competitions and they were skating fans. My grandparents actually used to roller skate, and that generation, they would go roller skating as their like social hour. And so there was some connection between the family history of roller skating and then figure skating. And I think, when my family took me on Christmas Day to go skating, they didn't think that I would say, okay, and I'm doing this every day now.
That's cool.
So yeah, and what's also cool is that in roller skating they have the compulsory dances, the pattern dances. So as a young person, I did the same ones that my grandparents did,
Wow.
on the roller rink. So yeah, from then it was history. That's what I love to do, and I told everybody that I was going to go to the Olympics one day.
And you did. So that's why you chose ice dance because of the patterns.
I loved ice dance even from when I was very young. My first coach was an ice dancer representing Great Britain, and he knew that doing like high quality edges and learning ice dances and understanding music, that would be something that would help me no matter what discipline I chose. So I loved ice dance from when I was 5 years old, and it just ended up being the right thing for me.
Wow, that's amazing. So going like fast forwarding, you won three world medals. So that's like a huge thing in figure skating. You won silver in 2014, bronze in 2015, and also bronze in 2018. So what does that mean to you as a skater? How was that for you?
Yeah, the stories of all of them is so different, but I guess like when I look back on my career, it's cool to see that Andrew, my partner, and I were in the top 5 in the world for 9 years in a row. So what I see when I think of things like that, and even the space between our world medals, there was many years
Mhm.
between a couple of them. I'm proud that we were able to um, stay at a high level for so long. and challenged the podium for almost 10 years in a row. So that is something that I think is neat, and I think it just is attributed to our stubbornness
Uh-huh. That's
and
a good thing.
our willingness, yeah, and our willingness just to learn and love what we do and really want to succeed. But I guess one that really stands out for me was our first one, and it was silver in Tokyo in 2014, and we were zero point zero 0.02 behind Anna Capellini and Luca Lanotte of Italy for the gold. So it was less than a GOE, less than
I know.
one
It's nothing.
GOE mark between first and second, and then there was another like super small decimal between second and third. So it was just a surprise, and it was thrilling and crazy and unforgettable, like a unforgettable cap on our first Olympic season.
Wow, nice. And talking about your first Olympic season, your first Olympics were Sochi. So I love to ask this question to every Olympian. How did you feel in your first Olympics, the first time you stepped on the Olympic ice?
I think for us there was a feeling of, oh, finally, because we we um, we were first alternates to 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, and again another decimal. We lost that berth, that spot to the Olympics by zero point 0.3
Oh,
points. So it was like teeny, 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 tiny. And we were so devastated that, we really wanted to go to our home games in Canada. And we were so young at that point. And so then we had to wait 4 more years, and work hard, of course, but wait 4 more years to finally realize that dream. And so when we stepped on Olympic ice, we were like, I can't believe we're actually here, and we finally made it. So it was just like, I remember energy flying outside of
oh,
my body all at all hours of the day. It's just this level of excitement that you never even knew existed. So it was a good memory.
what was like your best moment at Sochi Olympics? Like any anecdote or something?
Um, Oh gosh, that's tough. Well, funny, I landed without my skates. My skates got lost on the way.
Oh
So
my
that was
God.
not the like touchdown in Sochi and like roll into the village all like feeling happy. I was just like, oh my God, I don't have my skates. Are they lost forever? Do I have to call MK and resport? Like, um, I was a panicked mess. And then, of course, everything turns out fine. I think I'm freezing. Am I
Oh
okay?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
you're okay. You're
But I think the most memorable moment, for me, we skated one of our best free dances, I think, of the season, and having that like Olympic skate on Olympic ice, like those two things together was just the best feeling in the world. Like you can get to the Olympics and if you don't skate your best, it doesn't really feel
I know it doesn't click.
great.
Yeah.
So then when we were finally able to put that together in the free dance, it was just like, okay, yes, like we did it.
Oh, that's amazing. And then you went back to Olympics in Pyeongchang. And oh my God, you did such an amazing job there. I mean, at both Olympics, you placed so well. In both, you were seventh, which is a good place. I mean, Olympics
Yeah,
is Olympics. I mean, and the competition was
absolutely.
so tough in Pyeongchang. Oh my God, so many great skaters.
Yes. I mean, every year the top group is just impenetrable. It's
Yeah.
just so tight, and it gets better and better and better every season.
Hmm.
Um, and there was a part of us that was like seventh again. We were seventh at both.
Hmm.
But what followed both of those Olympics was a world medal. So we were able to kind of feel like we could calm our competitive spirits a little bit by the end of the season. But honestly, just even to say I'm a two-time Olympian,
Yeah.
is such an honor. It's just to be chosen by your country to represent all of its people on the Olympic stage. There's no greater privilege. So seventh place or not, I am so proud to call myself a two-time Olympian and been able to do my job.
Yeah, and we must say something. I mean, at Olympics, we always see like maybe 8 or 10 great skaters who could podium, and it's who does it better in the moment, and it's so hard because you have like your favorites, right? Like right now, I love Piper and Paul, and they are not yet there, but I just love them. I mean, I remember before Olympics, I was saying these guys can podium,
Mhm.
and they are so close, but there are so many great teams that you never know what's going to happen.
I'm so excited for later. I am
I
so
know.
excited. Yeah, I mean, there were probably what 4 or 5 teams that had potential to be on the podium, and behind, of course, the favorites,
Uh-huh.
Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron. Um, but I think, the Olympics is a peculiar competition. It's unlike anything,
Yeah.
and it feels different, and like different things happen. And so it's really, as you said, what the athletes are able to do on the day,
Yeah.
because it's slippery out there. And in ice dance in particular, clean skates are the norm. So it really comes down to the levels and the performance and really seizing that Olympic moment.
And going back to Pyeongchang, like I said, teams were really hard, and I have heard for some from so many skaters that their second, third Olympics they are more calm because it's not like the first experience. They enjoy more. So, how did you leave the Pyeongchang experience?
Oh, this is our free dance in
I love
Pyeongchang.
it.
I definitely do feel like going in, we were more calm because we understood the game. We understood how it works, what it feels like on practice, what it feels like to skate over top of the Olympic rings. Those are all things you really have to take a moment for in your first games. If of course you're lucky enough to go to more than one. So I think what was a little bit hard for us, to be completely honest, Masha, was the team event, because that happened first, and we had the idea that we might skate the free dance in the team event. So when we weren't, it was a little bit of a kind of so our wind was let out of the sail, and so we had to really like go back to the drawing board and say, okay, why are we here? We're here for ourselves. We're here to skate a great program, or two great programs, and represent all of our hard work
It must be pretty
that we've had our
fun.
whole years.
Oh, sorry. It must be pretty fun to be able to skate the team event and also your discipline.
We weren't chosen for the team event, so it does sound very fun.
That's amazing.
And I would have loved, to be able to do that, but I think it's cool too because you can, it feels like you've been able to do it twice,
I
so
know.
I think the people that have done the team event have, you're able to see them really get into the groove by the individual event. You see them like lock into a really like
Mm.
confident place, as opposed to like the early competition jitters.
So, talking about Olympics, I mean, you skaters are used to competitions like the weekend competition, right? You go to the place, to the country, or whatever. You stay there maybe from Thursday or Wednesday through
Mhm.
Sunday, and that's it. But when you go to Olympics, you go there and you live there. So, your life is completely different in those weeks.
Mhm.
So, tell
Mhm.
me about that experience of living like literally in the competition.
Yeah, it is very different, because also, you have to say with ice dance that so much of it is based on like the ice dance technical specialist watching your edges, right? And it's like getting a downgrade in a jump. They have to really look. But in at the Olympics, those specialists, the technical panel, are there for every practice. So we were
Wow.
practicing with a technical panel, watching every move we make for 2 weeks.
Oh my God,
That's a
that's stressing.
long, yeah, it's a long time. And I tried to like trick myself into being like, they're just friends. And I'd say, good morning. And I'd like say hello to them because they're there every day. Like, try not to think of them as um judges, people that are like judging you, because it
Oh
does kind of
God.
make you feel more on edge, and that's
Yeah.
hard to sustain for that long of a time. So it is something you have to kind of get used to. And I hear that in Beijing, the athletes are not even allowed to leave the village either. Some people go to another training site
Mhm.
for the couple weeks,
Yeah.
but in Beijing, because of the bubble and COVID
Yeah.
protocol, they have to stay there. So they're under the scrutiny of a lot of people
Oh my
watching
God.
every move they make. It's you know, the Olympics for a reason. It's really survival of the fittest.
Oh yeah, like the Hunger Games.
You're not wrong.
Oh yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So talking about your whole career, what was the best moment for you in your whole career?
That
Like,
is so hard. I mean, I feel very lucky to say that there were a lot of really wonderful moments. My partner Andrew is just a really wonderful man, and so between the 15 years of us skating together, and we still skate together now, but for competition, we competed for 13 years, and we really had so much fun, you know. But I think what jumps to my mind first is competing at the
uh-huh.
2013 World Championships in London, Ontario. Feels like so long ago now. It really was so long ago. Um, that was at home in Canada. And in December of the year before, I fractured my fibula and I
Mhm.
had to have surgery and I had screws in my ankle. And everyone just said, no, you're out for the season. It was the season before the Olympics, and I was not going to miss a Worlds in Canada. And so I just worked harder than I ever have in my entire life to heal and to, I did physiotherapy like it's my job. And we only did 2 run throughs before the event, and we surprised everybody by showing up, and we had a top 5 finish. And just
Wow.
getting on the ice and hearing, it with a home audience, they knew that story. They knew us. It felt like we were surrounded by family and people trying to really lift us up. And I have goosebumps just thinking about it. But it was an unbelievable moment that I felt so deeply proud of myself, which as athletes and as women, I don't think
Mm,
we ever really give ourselves enough credit,
yeah,
like for the
totally.
things that we do. It's never good enough. It's never like, high enough. And at that moment, I was just so grateful to be there and to be holding Andrew's hand and to have like all these Canadian flags in the audience. It didn't matter what place we came
Yeah,
or
of course.
what level I got. It just was so, so beautiful, for us to be there and to help represent our country. And so that feeling, of course, is a good place to perform from. So we ended up having great skates. But that definitely is something that will always stay forever in my mind as one of my most like cherished memories.
That's such a beautiful story. I didn't know about that. Wow.
Thanks.
And what would you say? I mean, athletes, of course, have good days and bad days. So, what was the most difficult moment in your career?
Oh. Ooh, well, fans of ours, our WePo family would say, like, our career has been a roller coaster. And we
Mhm.
always like joke about that. Like, we go from really high to really low to like, you know, um, the hardest moment in our career. Um, you know, I think one of the hardest moments of our career was leaving our coaches, Pasquale Camerlenko and Angelica Krylova in Detroit. Change is hard for anyone, and
Yeah.
we knew something needed to happen. We had ended up on the podium. We had won the final 2 years in a row, and then like didn't do well at Worlds, and we just were in this place where we couldn't figure out why we couldn't achieve some of these goals at Worlds, and with the help of our federation, it was decided um, that we should move. And those coaches were our family.
Oh.
We grew up there. They really like helped create the team that we are today. And so it's very difficult to navigate as young adults,
Mhm.
how to do that, and how to make change in your life, and how to kind of like take your career in your hands and do it. But it was very emotionally tough. And so to athletes, I think that are struggling, it's like to me, the important thing to know is that you're going to get through it,
Mhm.
and to really lean on your support system, your therapist, your sports psychologist, your doctors, your family, your trusted mentors, because it's not always so easy. And I think having a really strong support system is very important.
Yeah, I mean, the life of the athlete is not easy, never. It's so hard. I mean, so
Exactly.
rewarding also, but it's hard.
Yeah, it doesn't come for free.
No.
It is the greatest honor, but you have to make very difficult choices. I never say the word sacrifice because I think
Hmm.
that you gain so much.
Yeah.
Um, that is, of course, if you're surrounded in a very healthy place, if you feel healthy and taken care of, those are they become choices, not sacrifices. But it's tough, and you really do give up a lot, especially as a young person, to pursue this dream. And so I think it's so important, kind of segue into mental health, but it's so important to take care of yourself and your partner if you're in a partner sport, up here, because you have to live the rest of your life with your brain and with your body. the
I
medals the
yeah.
medals stay in a box, but you
Yeah.
have to still have your body and your brain, and that's really the most important thing.
I totally agree. And now, talking about Beijing, I mean, this is so exciting. We were talking off air, and there are so many great teams. I mean, I don't even know what's going to happen today. I mean, like you said, there are some favorites, but besides that, what's going to happen? So I want to hear your predictions. I mean, it's crazy. You're the expert here.
um Predictions, this is hard. I almost like don't want to jinx it, and
Don't.
so I'm gonna knock on wood, but I I'll say what I hope.
Okay.
I hope that I hope that teams are rewarded for their um, creativity. And so basically, what I would really love to see is for Hubble and Donahue to move up to second.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the way that they've shown themselves this season is is almost unbeatable. I mean, they took every critique that they were handed over their 10-year career and said, okay, well, we're going to fix that, and we're going to fix that. Okay, we don't have good enough lifts. All right, I'm going to lift your overhead. Now we're going to do this and this and this and this and this. And they really have put together this incredible package
Oh,
with
yeah.
their programs, that to me is just really special. And they're just they are some of the best skaters in the world.
Mm.
Like, I think Maddie might be one of the best women in ice dance in many, many years. So I really hope that they're rewarded. And so I imagine then the Russians will be third, but I also really want a good redemption skate for Maddie Chalk and Evan Bates.
Yes.
I know them. These are all my friends. And my heart broke for Maddie when I saw her edge slip in the
I
Midnight
know.
Blues pattern dance.
I
And
yelled.
it was such a simple, small detail on such a costly step. And those levels are the only things that are really separating these teams. And so as soon as she did that, I thought, shoot, that's going to put them out. So I really, really hope that they can do a free dance that they feel really, really good about, for themselves, and see how far that can take them, because in the team event, it took them pretty far.
I know.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it'll be very interesting how it all shakes out, but you can expect a fight from everyone.
Actually, I have some technical questions. I mean, I am not an expert in ice dance, but for example, that mistake made by Maddie, how bad was it?
Bad.
Yeah.
Because the edge that she slipped off of,
Hmm.
is part of a key point. So in the pattern dance,
Oh.
how they're able to judge, like, basically it's how many rotations you do. If you do
Yeah.
4 rotations, you get the highest score, like in a quad jump. In the Midnight Blues, you have to achieve all of those 4 key points, and that's a select number of steps located within the dance that you have to do the correct edges, the correct timing, the correct turns, so perfectly from edge to edge. I mean,
Uh-huh.
this is stuff that you can't even see with the naked eye, barely. And so they skated so well throughout the dance, and then on the last step of the last key point, she
Oh,
lost her edge, which deems it incomplete. So they received a no from that one,
oh my God.
and so that not only that, it affected the grade of execution because it was a slip on an edge. It wasn't invisible. Everybody saw that she lost her
Yeah,
balance. So that affected the GOE, that affects her skating skills, and it
the
affects the
performance,
level.
everything.
So it really it hit them it hit them hard, and that's why you see the big gap between third and fourth.
That's so awful. And actually, I have another question. Do you remember in the team event? I mean, Katsalapov and Sinitsina skated great, but it wasn't enough to be on the first place. So I'm asking why. I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, I don't have like the technical,
Hmm. Hmm.
I have no idea. So please explain to me why, because I see them beautiful, but I am not understanding.
Yeah, no, they are spectacular. I'm huge fans of them as skaters. So I haven't seen the detailed protocol. So basically, like the test scores, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, of those dances in the team event. But I can say as a general thing, I think they sometimes make little like small mistakes that affect the quality.
Okay.
So they're so beautiful and free, and they're like effervescent as a team, but when you look at exactly the edges that are on the ice, sometimes there's toes, sometimes the edge is not as deep as it can be. So it's sometimes these little details that you can't really see, and that's why ice dance can be so confusing, that make a difference. And they're up against these two American teams that can be technically perfection, and so they're really going to have to make sure all of their I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and they really are super clean in order to maintain their position in second, I believe.
So for tonight, do you think that if Madison Chuck and Evan Bates skate clean, they could climb up to the podium, or it's almost impossible?
It depends. I mean, Nikita is known to have wild twizzles. Like,
Hmm.
Zach has, knock on wood, the twizzles are hard for everybody
Oh
no
yeah,
matter who you are.
I
So
know.
sometimes you just never know. But what I wouldn't be surprised about is if Maddie and Evan, um, are in the top three in the free dance.
Mm,
Whether or not that will make the jump because they have 3 points to overcome.
yeah.
That's a lot.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if their free dance is graded as one of the top three. So we'll see the point spread. It's it's impossible to predict, but it's going to be close.
It's going to be like a hard fight tonight.
Hmm. I mean, it's the Olympics. Like, yes,
I
it's going to
know.
be a hard
It's
fight.
so
I can't wait.
stressing.
Yeah, that's what you live for,
Yeah.
like I used to love the feeling of pressure, like to a degree, but
Hmm.
the feeling that it's now or never. Like
Yeah.
you got to go out there. That to me like gets my heart beating fast, and yes, it's crazy stressful, and you want to just sometimes fall asleep and wake up the next day with it all being over. But when you're out there performing and it's the best of the best of the best out there on the ice with you on that 5 minute warm up, oh, it's for a competitor, that's like the golden space. Like
Get it.
that's it. So I think, we're gonna see a lot of people rise to the occasion tonight.
Actually, I have here the scores. I want to show them. Give me 1 second. Let's see. So you can guide us a little bit.
Hmm.
Okay, so which one is it? Okay, just 1 second. Um, I can put it on the screen.
Oh no.
Yeah, just 1 second. I'm just trying to find out which file it is. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's going to be so much easier so people can see what we're talking about. Okay, so
Absolutely.
here it is.
There, look at that.
Let me make it bigger. Okay, so right here we can watch. Okay, so here we can watch the scores. This is the gap you were saying. Okay, so Madison and Evan are in fourth place with 84-14. Yeah, it's 3 points, like you said, to the third place. And it would be amazing. I mean, Hubel and Donahue are so close to the second. I'm hearing why you were saying that it would be amazing they climb to the second place. I mean, they're so close.
Yeah, I I think Maddie and Zach have also good momentum, which is very important in ice dance. Is, when you go out there, do the judges trust that you're going to have a great performance? Like everyone's talking about this program, everyone's talking about that first lift for both teams. Actually, both teams have spectacular lifts,
Yeah.
but they've established themselves as real threats. And
Mm-hmm.
Nikita has been beaten already
Mm-hmm.
in this event, in the team
Yeah.
event. So, sometimes like and again, I'm happy with any which way this goes. I think they're all fantastic. But sometimes Nikita cracks under pressure. So I think it's gonna be so tight. But also I'm wondering what the personal bests are of some of these teams. I don't know that for a
I have
fact.
it.
But I think Maddie and Zach might have the edge on their free dance score.
I have the personal best. Give me 1 second. I have it right here. Okay, so let's see. I mean, it's not like everyone's. Oh, it's the new ones. Okay, so
Wow, 129.
where? Oh, yeah.
That's
Wow. Yeah,
high.
that's. I think that was in the team event.
Yeah, well, maybe Maddie and okay, so that also is another possibility that it shakes up so that maybe, I'm just assuming hopefully that the French team will have the skate of their lives and run away with this gold medal finally.
Oh, yeah.
But it could be that Maddie and Evan are second in the free, and then maybe Hubble and Donahue, and then maybe Nikita. So then you really don't know. We could have two American
Oh
teams on
my
the podium,
gosh.
and we never want to count out the Italians, and of
Yeah.
course you never want to count out
Oh,
the
yeah, they're
Canadians.
good.
I think they're both a little. These teams are a little bit out of their league right now, but you just never know. Look at the Olympic ice dance event in Torino in 2006.
I remember.
Famously, like half the teams fell.
Yeah.
It's slippery out there. Ice dance is
Hmm.
crazy, and the nerves are going to be high. So I'm very excited.
Can't wait. Oh
Yeah,
my
me
God, it's
too.
going to be amazing. I was eager to hear your comments about this because you're the expert in ice dance, and I wanted to be prepared. So everybody also wanted to hear that. So we'll be on the look for little mistakes or perfection on the teams. So we
And
have
twizzles.
the
Be
twizzle.
on the look for
Then
twizzles.
twizzles. I'm a coach, but a free figure skating coach. Yeah, singles, and everybody hates the twizzles, even in single skating. I mean, twizzles are tricky. Yeah,
Twizzles are tricky.
super
Yeah. So I think that also will help separate, if you see a team having great twizzles, you're gonna know that they're feeling confident and ready to fight.
We'll be on the look for twizzles. And we have a question here. What's your favorite program? I mean, I think they're asking about your programs.
Favorite program? I mean, the one that of course, comes to mind is Je suis malade, which you showed our
Mm-hmm.
Olympic rendition of that program. That feels like the gift that keeps on giving in a way, because the music was sent to us anonymously from a fan. We fell in love with
Wow.
it. We created this piece. We now have befriended this guy, Andres, who
Oh,
lives in Estonia. I'm sorry, Lithuania. He's wonderful and very creative. And that one, it came from such a real place, and it ended up touching a lot of the audiences around the world. And if people ever recognize me, or I talk with some skating fans, that's usually the first one they say, "Oh, I loved your just Viva Lad." So that feels like a gift, to have that
mm-hmm.
connection with people that they remember something that I did on the ice, it's makes me feel really special.
It was an emotional program. Like everybody was
Yes.
crying after that.
Yeah.
And
Me
well,
too.
I know. And of course, people on the chat is saying everybody misses you. So hopefully, we will see more of you
Oh.
and Andrew skating. Maybe not competing, but more skating because the world needs you guys.
Oh, well, I mean, we are very happy to be back on the Stars on Ice tour in Canada. Hopefully it goes on. And we also will be performing in Spain in March with Javier Fernandez.
Nice.
So we are ready to come back. We can't wait to be on the ice again too. And we miss all of you. So we're ready. We're ready to come
Amazing.
back
Great
to the skating
news.
world.
Super. Thank you so much for this interview, Kaitlyn. It has been truly inspiring to hear your story and your Olympic anecdotes, and of course, the technical analysis for the ice dance final. It was amazing. Thank you so much for everything.
Muchísimas gracias. Thank
I love your
you.
Spanish. I must say that.
Thank
So
you for
enjoy
having me.
tonight.
Okay, you too.
Yay. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Bye bye.